maybe we can use it for refugees, because refugees or immigrants, they are not integrated with the Swedish people. They are living separate. So the problem is that how can you get in touch with Swedish people in a natural way? And I thought that maybe we can have some video talks with the new people. Like if you meet someone on the street, you ask for the way or something. That doesn't need to be personal, but you have an interaction using Skype, for instance, or something like that. So you're not giving people money, you're giving them an hour a week. You donate time. So
don't give me fish, but give me power.
Yeah, so because communication is the way to integrate people. If you don't communicate, you will be two separate groups. So I found that with people in Sweden, they could donate 1 hour a week, and they can speak with new people.
أستاذ هنريك هضر على واحد البرنامج داروه في أمريكا، وهو أن المتقاعدين ديالهم كيكون عندهم واحد الوقت كبير وفارغ كيحسوا بالملل، لذلك خلقوا واحد البرنامج مع دوك المتقاعدين على مدار الأسبوع عطاوهم ساعات محددة كيهضروا مع المهاجرين البرازيليين اللي عبر سكيب اللي كيبغيو يتعلموا اللغة الإنجليزية، وفي نفس الوقت كيستافدوا دوك المتقاعدين منهم ودوك كيتعلموا اللغة الإنجليزية. هذا هي الفكره اللي بغينا نطبقوها من خلال هذا البرنامج في السويد، وهو ان مواطنين سويديين يهضروا مع ليزيميغري، يعني مع المهاجرين العرب او غير العرب، يتواصلوا معهم باش يقدروا هذوك المهاجرين ينخرطوا في المجتمع السويدي وما يبقاوش عايشين منعزلين كيف ما راهم دابا.
Yes, so here comes my idea. We already did a study. We have retired people in Sweden in a course. They wanted to learn information technology, and then we had the immigrants. They wanted to talk to Swedish people. So they used the course with learning IT to talk to someone real, and not just learning the IT. And it turned out that it was a great way to learn Swedish language also. And I think if we look a little bit in the future, maybe we can have a database. You can search for people who are interested in Zlatan Ibrahimovic football. They can speak Arabic. I want to speak someone, only females, if you're a female. And you can have your own selection of people. And even it could be people from here joining this group to talk to Arabic-speaking people in Sweden, that we can have an interaction and talk about things and learn about cultures.
هذه الفكره اللي خليكم داروا في امريكا هي نفسها الفكره اللي غيديروه في السويد، مع حيت كاين عندهم واحد المجموعه نتاع الناس متقاعدين عرضوا عليهم هذه الفكره ووافقوا، غيطبقوها في السويد باش يتمكنوا ان الاجانب او حتى من غير الاجانب اللي كاينين في السويد، يعني بالنسبه نتمكنوا حتى حنا هنا من المغرب بدنا نهضروا مع مواطنين سويديين نتعلموا منهم اللغه السويديه وناخذوا منهم ثقافه سويديه. كذلك خلقوا واحد لاباز دو دوني، يعني قاعده بيانات كتضم بزاف ديال المواضيع غتسهل على الناس باش يتواصلوا مع المواطنين السوريين. بحال عطى مثال زلاتان ابراهيموفيتش، بحال كي دخلنا ديك لاباز دو دوني ومشينا لهذاك لو سيجي هذا نلقاو الناس اللي مهتمين بالكره في السويد، وهذا غادي يخلقوا واحد التواصل بيناتنا غنفيدوهم وغيفيدونا، وما غيبقاش واحد الانغلاق على الذات، غنرجعوا منفتحين على الاخر والاخر منفتحين.
وهذا هو فاش بغيتكم تفهموا مزيان، هذا هو علاش بغيتكم تشاركوا في هذا البرنامج، لانه مهم ربما يفتح افاق لكم ان شاء الله. هذا هو الهدف الغايه من هذا الشيء.
Yes, and so what we did, we were connecting the Swedes with the newly immigrants, and in order to not make this as a personal thing, so I don't need to ask you exactly about you personally, we introduced it every week, a neutral subject. Like, for instance, if it was Easter in Sweden, we said, this is how we celebrate Easter in Sweden, how do you do it, or do you have something similar? So every week there were a new topic, and that was learning about society. It was not personal, and then you could learn the language and learn about the culture.
في هذا البرنامج كل أسبوع يقومون باقتراح مواضيع جديدة ومحايدة أيضا، لأن هذه الشيمة اللي معروفة بها السويد اللي كتمكن الناس أنهم يعرفوا حوايج جديدة ويستافدوا من التجارب الأخرى وما يكونش واحد الانغلاق فشخصي على النفس وعلى الذات وعلى البلد وعلى ثقافة وحدة.
Yes.
After you can proceed your view. Okay.
Yes. So I think if you're coming to Sweden, you're alone. Maybe you're from Morocco. It could be interesting to be in a community where people speak Arabic. There are many in Sweden who do that. If you can connect them, but you don't find them easily. And I think also personally, if I can talk to you, I can learn some Arabic, I can learn something about you, but I don't need to travel. We can use the Skype. And you know Skype is a Swedish invention.
يقول ان بهذا البرنامج هذا كيمكن انك هو تعلم اللغه العربيه ديالك وتعلم حتى اللغه السويديه ديالو وما تيبقاش داك الحاجز ديال انك تتواصل معه هو غادي يهضر بلغتك وانت تهضر بلغته تيكون واحد التواصل وهذا هو الغايه من هذا البروغرام هذا اللي تيبغاو يديروه.
وسكيب
وفي سكيب هو اللي في الهضره في سكيب غادي تسهل عليك هذه الخدمه هذه التعلم هذا.
وسكيب هو اختراع سويدي. سكيب السويدي اللي اخترعه هو البلوتوث. انا البارح yesterday we were talking about Bluetooth. Also yesterday we were talking with
and the mobile phone is a Swedish invention.
Also a thing, yeah. Because we have many things. سمعت بزاف د الحوايج مصنوعه
من السويد منها سكيب البلوتوث او الايفون
Not iPhone, that's Apple, but the mobile phone.
Mobile phone.
Before it became a smartphone. But yeah, so therefore, you know, internet, for instance, in Sweden. Yeah, internet is everywhere, and we can have free, very cheap internet everywhere. So I'm not used not to be able to connect. So everywhere in a class like this, people are Googling.
Yes.
They are working, and they are working things. So
please one moment we can to say this is very interesting.
خليكم باللي في السويد الانترنت كاينه فين ما مشيتو في الجامعه.
ما كاينش تقلب.
في الجامعه.
نسمع لك فين ما مشيتي حتى في الخلا.
فين ما مشيتي كاينه الانترنت كاينه الكونيكسيون.
كاينه الكونيكسيون بارتو.
Yes, and the connection is the best in the world in Sweden, Norway, and Finland.
ان الانترنت في السويد هي معروف عليها انها احسن انترنت كاينه في العالم، يعني اجود انترنت لا من ناحيه السرعه ولا من ناحيه الصبي كيف ما كيقولوا الكيلو بايت.
Yeah, so in a class like this, you will see people looking at the movies, playing World of Warcraft, doing Facebook. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Because I only care if you make the exam. And if you can do something in parallel, I don't care. And it's the same thing here. I don't know, you maybe think about Swedish king or something. I cannot control how you think anyway. If you're doing things here, it doesn't matter to me. But as long as you produce in class, it's okay that you do something in parallel.
بالنسبه للاستاذ من خلال تجربته الشخصيه باللي ما عندوش مشكل ان الطلبه ديالو يستعملوا الانترنت خلال الحصه انهم يحلوا الفيسبوك انهم يبحثوا على شي حاجه يتفرجوا في افلام او شي حاجه اللي كيهمو ان مادام ان الطالب كينتج ليه وكيدوز ان اكزام وكينجح وكيخلق افكار وكيبدع الشيء الاخر ماشي مهم عنده.
Yeah, so it's very liberal. You can do whatever you want as long as you make the course assignments. And so it's very open what you do in the classroom. You can search, you can chat with each other and so on. But you have to be able to produce what we are asking for.
لا يهم انكم يديروا اي حاجه في الكلاس، ولكن اللي كيهمو انهم يسولهم يجاوبوه منين عطاوهم ان اكزام يجتازوا هذاك الاكزام بتفوق انهم يخلقوا ويبدعوا له افكار جديده. يعني بالنسبه ما عندهمش واحد القيد واحد الضغط داخل الحصه الدراسيه، يعني عاطين الحريه الكامله للطلبه مقابل ان هذوك الطلبه ديالهم خاصهم يبدعوا ويدوزوا امتحانات في احسن وجه وينجحوا ويجيبوا نقاط جيده.
الليبراليه بمفهومها الواسع.
Yeah, but you could say like this, that our goals are very clear. You have to achieve this, otherwise you're not getting your grade. But how you do it is up to you. You can do whatever you want, but you have to deliver this. And when you deliver your result, we will check you in all possible ways. So we will check if you have copy-paste something. We have software that is checking 53 billion websites, 100,000 of student works, and all the research journals. And even if you copy something from Wikipedia some years back, it will check all the years back of internet, even if it's not there now. So you should know that we will find if you're cheating.
بالنسبه لما يخص الامتحانات انا كما كنقول حنا عطيناهم الحريه ولكن خلال الامتحانات ما كيتعاتقوش معاهم حاطين لهم لي بيسي ولا انترنت كيدوزو امتحانات بك انترنت الا قاموا بغش شي حاجه عندهم ان لوجيسيال اللي كيراقب تقريبا 83% من لي سيت نتاع العالم في خلال التصحيح كيخدموا بهذيك اللوجيسيال اللي لقاو اي حاجه ولا اي جزء مكوبي من شي سيت او من شي بلاصه من الانترنت يعني غش ما كيتعاتقوش مع الطالب ديالهم.
يعني عندهم المشار وسط البيسي وهو اللي يعطينا حتى في البروجرام.
Yeah, we have several programs.
Yeah.
So is it a problem here that people copy from the internet? And
Yes, you copy and pass it.
do you have any software to checking this?
Yes,
No.
You
You are free here. What is the
No, but then you get people who can't do the work. You have to be clear what you accept. Otherwise, the university doesn't have the quality, and you don't have the prestige or status. You have to have software. It's impossible to check without having the software. How can you check 53 billion websites without software? It does it in a few minutes.
التصحيح فقط هي 83 مليار
ماشي مليار
بليار موقع هذاك اللوجيسيال اللي عندهم كيبقى كيقلب فيه باش يشوف واش الطالب ديالهم سرق مع شي سيت ما دوك لي سيت ولا لا
او غيوريه
او
لكم.
غير شكون
يعني ان اي واحد سرق غير الصدر كيدير من يخدم. يعني ان الشفارات على الانترنت هما ما بقاش عندهم ما كاينش كوبي كولي ما عندهمش واللي يحصل شي واحد كيمشي بحالو يفكر شتي في واخا الحريه تدخل الانترنت وهذا قرا مع راسك تقول لك ما تفكرش.
And you know if you don't have this system, students will copy paste because it's easier basically.
قال كي ما كانش هذا السيستم هذا الطلبه تيمكن لهم يكوبيو ويقولوا داكشي اللي بغاو ما تيكونش عليهم واحد الراقب اللي
يعني يمكن يغشوا الطلبه بحال عندنا حنا هنا في المغرب قال لي واش عندكم شي حاجه قلنا لي ما عندناش وبقى يضحك لك ماشي معقول هادشي ما يمكنش.
I don't know. I just want to mention this little bit. This blacklisting problem, and I think it's in many countries this is a problem, right? So this was the situation in the countries. It doesn't matter. This is too small, but I wanted to come to some statistics here. This is why they are doing it, but I don't spend time doing that. I want to. This is now very hard to see, but this is. I will read it here. So when we are checking with, for instance, 30, there are several. So because the software is searching 56 billion web pages. 56, not million, billion.
Billion.
Yeah. And it's also searching 140 billion research articles in different publishers. 140 million articles. And it's searching 500 billion student papers. So that you have to have the software to do this, otherwise you cannot do it. Yeah, try to escape the camera. Big brother.
هذا البرنامج اضافه لي سيت اللي كيقلب كذلك المقالات اللي كاينه في الانترنت وشنو
تيقلب ما بين 56 مليار باج لي باج ديال الانترنت و 140 مليون مقالات اللي تيسيرشي هذا البروغرام هذا باش يجبد واش كاين شي غش ولا شي مكيدو.
I think maybe it's possible to focus this correct. It's not focusing.
Yes, I focus it with the camera.
Yeah, but I want to show you here how this software works. So here, for instance,
ديروا اوبجيكتيف واش يبان لك شو واش كيبان كيقرب كيقرب
here we have a text from
كيبان مزيان.
And it has marked, the software has marked where you find the same text in the internet among 56 billion pages. And it's marked here 13% is found elsewhere. Internet, articles and so on. And it's also marked exactly where it is. So if I click here, I will find that this is the text, the original text. So in a few minutes, we scan the whole internet, and we exactly know this sentence you have stolen, or maybe if you're calling it right, it's okay. And then you see how many percent of this text that is the same somewhere else. Right.
هنا هذا المقال نموذج الامتحان ديال واحد الطالب، وكل لون تيبين المقال منين خدا.
علمنا كيعطيك الإحالة.
المقال هو في الوسط، وعلمنا تيعطيك أي لون بالمقال ديالو الإحالة ديالو منين خداه.
Yeah, and what also happens when you're using a software like this, you write a thesis about the Swedish kings from medieval times to now, that you have not copied, but another student is stealing your text, and then you have copyright, because you can see he wrote it. You can see here the same sentence he wrote, because you have that text in the database. So you are creating your own copyright also.
اهم حاجه في هذا البرنامج انه كيمكن لارتيكل اللي كيكتبها شي طالب بلا ما ياخذ من شي مقال اخر او باز دوني اخرى، ان هذا الارتيكل كتسجل بسميتو، ملي كنسمعوا حنايا حقوق النشر، ولا جا شي طالب اخر وسرق من ديك الارتيكل ديالك، فهو كيحصل كيتعاقب على لان كيتسمى سرق الحقوق ديال النشر ديالك.
So this is a 13%. This is one of my students. What do you think is okay? How many percent? I mean, the percent is how much is found, that text is found somewhere else. It's matching this text. You write your work, and then we test it with the software, and they found that you have taken text from other places up to a certain percent. How much do you think is okay?
شحال كتعتقد بالنسبة هي ممكنة باش ناخذوا من التكست؟
We can ask everybody.
Yeah. So he translates the question.
قال لكم يعني من بعد ما يدير طالب بحال هذه العمليه هذه، يعني ياخذ من تكست اخرى، يعني شحال كتظنوا انه يقدر ياخذ يعني النسبه الممنوحه المئويه اللي عاطينهم الحق انهم ياخذوا من دي تكست اخرين ومن مقالات اخرى، يعني خلال الامتحان، يعني يقتبسوا ماشي يسرقوا.
0%. Someone else? 30. You think 30? You said 30. Someone else?
شكون اللي عنده شيء اقتراح؟ 5%.
You say 5% professor.
Yeah. No, not me. She says, not me.
Oh, sorry.
But what do you say?
You didn't say anything.
Yeah. No. She says 0%.
What do you say?
Me? I think 0%.
0.
0, yeah.
I think 10%.
10. Yeah. I would say all are wrong.
All is wrong?
All of you are wrong.
Where is the true?
Because the question is wrong.
The question is wrong. Okay.
The thing is that if you write the thesis, you cannot have 0, because then you have not connected to research. You have no references.
Okay.
It has to be found, otherwise you invented everything. But if you write a scientific paper, a master thesis, you have to have references, have to be some hints. Otherwise you don't have any connection to research, right?
Yeah.
In a course it could be 0%, but the thing is that it's not identifying cheating. It's identifying if the same text is found elsewhere, right?
Okay.
That means that I had students, they have 70%. 70.
Yeah.
And it was not cheating. Because what they did was they tested different software for plagiaries, and in the appendix they have the text they were using for text checking. So that was okay. So it depends on what you have copied, what kind of text are the same in other places. You have to analyze this. Did you understand it?
Yeah.
الغرض من هذا البرنامج هو ماشي كشف الغش، بل كشف ان الطلبه شحال من النسبه اعتمدوا في الاجوبه ديالهم على مقالات اخرى، يعني باش يشوفوا القيمه والمستوى ديال والمجهود اللي كيقوموا به الطلبه ديالهم، يعني ماشي في حد ذاته من اجل الغش، ولكن باش يقيموا، هي طريقه اخرى لتقييم المستوى نتاع الطلبه ديالهم.
وكذلك try to take a contextual example. I write a critical essay about the Quran, and then I refer to some sections and I put it in an appendix. then of course this Quran text has to be found elsewhere. Maybe that is 50% of the thesis, but it's not my text. I refer to this text and it has to be original, because if I say this is in the Quran and I don't have the right, it has to be found somewhere. Do you understand what I mean?
قال لكم الأستاذ بلي هو كتب ديزيسي يعني محاولات شرح القرآن وصنفها فبدا من هذا البرنامج وحطها، ولكن كاين إحالات على نصوص أخرى وعليها بهذا البرنامج هذا. إلا بحثنا على هذيك النصوص اللي كتب الأستاذ غنلقاو على أنه واخد من مواقع أخرى ومن مقالات أخرى، وهذا اللي كيجعل الشفافية والوضوح في مجال الكتابات عندهم في السويد.
يعني كاتب.
So of course you cannot have 100% because then you didn't do anything.
Yeah.
It was already done somewhere else. But it's about if you're referring to Dr. Driss' research, then it's okay because you have a hint that you have this percent. But if you're not referring, then it's not okay. You have the same hint. So it's also how you write it.
ما عندهمش مشكل انك تاخذ المقالات اخرى او كتبه اخرين، ولكن انك دير احاله عليهم، ولكن عندهم مشكل في حاله انك كتقتبس شي قوله وهي ماشي ديالك وكتنسبها ليك.
Yes, but this is not enough to detect the cheating. We will have several software like this, it's necessary, but we also have another one. We always have, when it comes to thesis, we always have oral defense. Because if I ask you, who was the third king of Sweden?
I don't know.
No, exactly. So if you wrote a text about Swedish kings, you cannot answer it, then I don't believe you wrote the text. Because you don't, in an oral interaction, you don't have time to Google. If you had time to Google, then you could come back. So we always try to check people orally in the end with a big exam. Because then you have to know it.
Yes, I know.
So,
Yeah.
So,
Is it break now?
Yeah,
and then we take another topic after the break.
And دابا استراحة وناخذوا واحد. How many times can take a break?
Yeah.
10 minutes?
Yeah, 10 minutes. Do you want more? 1 hour? 15 minutes?
No. We have 10 minutes. غادي ناخذ بريك تاع 10 دقائق باش غادي ندوزو لداك الشيء الاخر تاع البحث والتوبيك الاخر اللي كيهمكم كيفاش ديروا الدكتوراه ولا. Good with the translator?
Yeah, thank you very much. And you have the 21st century skills, the communication.
They are all in the master class.
Yeah.
There are 3 years, I don't think so. The other
Okay, welcome back.
مرحبا.
Where did my translator go? It disappeared. Anyway, it's free. Welcome back. So now we're going to talk about something different. I speak a little bit louder because otherwise you understand like this. This is maybe relevant for you when you want to write your master thesis. It's a scientific work, I think, with supervision from the professors. So we have developed an IT support system for students in our department. So it has given the student 420 extra hours for supervision, which is a lot, actually.
So she can translate here.
دابا غادي نهضروا على كيفية